привет! Welcome to my channel, AllasYummyFood, and добро пожаловать! Today I'm going to show you how to make honey cake with custard. Vanilla custard to be exact. It's really moist, very soft. The cake is sort of very gentle when you cut through it and try it. And if you love custard, this recipe is for you. You have these honey dough layers with creamy vanilla custard. It tastes really good and I hope you like it. It's not super sweet, which I like, but if you do prefer something sweeter, you can always add more sugar or adjust it to your own taste. And yeah guys, I really hope you try this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's completely free and I upload one new video every single week, so there's a lot to watch. Yay, let's get started. Now first we're gonna make our custard. So in a bowl add your plain flour, corn flour, and then your sugar. We're going to mix everything together until it's completely combined, otherwise you're gonna get some lumps. Then add your eggs and mix everything one more time until the mixture is nice and combined and completely liquid and sort of looks like a paste. Then we're going to take the mixture and place it onto the stove on a medium heat and cook this, constantly mixing and whisking. Then add half of your milk and mix again. You want to make sure it's all evenly mixed and has no lumps. And at that point you want to add the rest of your milk and mix everything nice and slow. You want to stay by the stove and mix until your mixture starts to thicken up, otherwise it can curd. So keep whisking and going around and whisking until the mixture starts to become nice and even and you don't see any lumps anymore. At that stage you want to add your butter and mix everything one more time until the butter is melted completely. Keep mixing on a very low heat, and at this point you can probably turn off the heat from your stove. The mixture should be nice and easy and look just like this. Now mix it one more time and we're going to add cling film and make sure it touches the actual custard and set it aside, and best if you leave it for a few hours so it's nice and cool and done. Now we're gonna make our honey dough. In a large pan, add your unsalted butter and melt it until it's quite liquid. Then add sugar and mix everything together until it is incorporated. I'm using very low heat to make sure everything is mixed through and the butter and sugar mixture is not too hot. Then we're gonna add baking soda, mix that in, and then we're gonna add our eggs. And you want to whisk at this stage really quickly and lower the heat completely. Just keep whisking and whisking. You will start to see the mixture is bubbling. Then add your honey and then start to whisk again. This whole process will take 5 to 8 minutes. You need to stay by the pan and just keep whisking to make sure the mixture doesn't burn. You will see that the color starts to change and it's going to become quite golden and nice, just like that. So on a very low heat, just keep whisking your mixture up and down. Now the color, I'm happy with that, that's done. We're just gonna now add our flour. I'm adding half of the flour at a time and then mixing it together just to make sure we don't have any lumps. Then add more flour and mix everything together. It's always better to add a bit less flour than more flour, just in case. We don't want very dry sponge, otherwise it's not going to be able to roll out. So just keep adding flour until you feel that the mixture is sticky but not sticking kind of to your hands and the spatula. I'm adding a bit more flour and I'm gonna knead my dough on my surface after this, just because it becomes a lot easier to do it on the You can find my full recipe at AllasYummyFood.com. and go check it out. I've got loads of delicious recipes on there. So add more flour onto your surface. The dough is still very sticky. Transfer your dough. It's very hot, so be very careful. Make sure you add more flour on top and all over your hands. And just knead the dough a little bit to make sure it's nice and smooth and all kind of coming together. Don't want to lose any bits. And then we're going to stretch the dough into kind of a long sausage. So just keep stretching it out. And then we're going to cut it into equal sizes. I've managed to get actually 10 layers out of this dough, and the cake was not huge, but it was a good size. So if you're making a larger cake, you might want to double the ingredients. Then just roll the dough into a little ball and place it onto your surface. Make sure you cover the dough with damp towel while you roll each piece, just so it doesn't dry out. Now for the baking stage, just add flour on some parchment paper and just gently roll out your piece of dough. It's very, very thin, so you have to go very slow, and you just need to make sure you get all the edges. Just keep rolling it to a desired shape of your cake. So it depends what shape you want to do. You can do squares, you can do rounds. So I'm just rolling it all out, and then I'm going to measure with my cake tin. Then gently cut around the circle. And if you're missing any pieces, just kind of put them back on there and roll it over, and you're gonna get a nice circle. Like I said, the dough is very, very thin, so it's okay if it's not too perfect. And we're gonna keep all the scraps as well. So we're gonna bake this for about 2 to 3 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 Fahrenheit. That just depends on your oven how long. When it's done, you can just leave them to cool down for a couple of minutes, and then just flip it over and take off the parchment paper really slowly. And then leave the dough to cool down. Once you've done all your layers, we're gonna keep the scraps. Add all your extra bits from the cake inside, and then we're going to blitz this on a high speed until you get nice crumb consistency. It's gonna look just like this. Now my beautiful layers are done. Look at these, so nice and ready to go. By this time our custard has cooled down and set a little bit. You want to then go around with a spoon and mix it one more time. And then we're gonna start adding that and layering our cake. So I like to add a little bit at the bottom so the cake gets stuck, but you don't have to do that. And we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of the custard onto each layer. So spread it around nice and even. You want to go around all the edges and the sides so that everything is nice and soft. And we're going to repeat this process with all our layers. The main trick here is to make sure that there's no dry bits of the cake left out. You want to make sure there is as much cream, as much custard as possible everywhere. So if it starts to droop around, it doesn't matter, just keep putting it on top. This is our final layer. You want to go around with your spoon on top, but then also you want to go around your cake to make sure that the sides are moist too. So with your spatula, just go around, and don't worry if you have any excess sort of cream coming out. It's all going to be hidden away with our crumbs. Then add your crumbs on top and cover your cake completely. Then also to do the sides, you want to take a lot in your hand and then sort of press down on the cake. It's quite a messy process, so don't worry about it. You can clean all of that up. It's completely worth for this cake. Then to decorate it, feel free to use your imagination. I decided to add a sort of flour and use icing sugar to create this beautiful shape around the cake to make something slightly different. And there we go, voila! Now you want to put the cake away for about 6 to 8 hours in room temperature. Once your cake is done, feel free to decorate it how you like it. I'm adding some fresh rose petals just to give it that sort of soft, light color because the cake is so delicious and light. And it's done. I'm going to show you. The knife goes through so easily. It has been completely soaked through the layers and it's absolutely delicious. So you can see the custard and the honey layers between. If you like custard and you like honey cake, this is a perfect match in heaven. The cake is super moist, very delicious, and not that sweet. So if you do like it sweeter, you can add more sugar if you like. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, guys.